So this is a recording from about a year ago between Witsit and I. It was maybe the third time that we spoke, and um, I had only spoken maybe 5 times total in Discord publicly over the past 5 years. So I don't know where he gets off saying that he knows me and I always do this or I always say these things. But I'm really mostly posting this to show what he talks about with Bob after I leave the room. um, I wish I had gotten the full conversation. This is like maybe 3/4 of the way into the conversation because the first half was really funny, with him freaking out and calling me a schizo, and he was literally like screaming at me at one point. Um, but of course, I didn't get that part recorded. But anyways, it's very telling how he talks about Bob and he talks crap about the community once again and how the community really fell through. The other day he was saying they fell through on the audit NASA stuff, which I thought there was quite a few people that donated to that, and then now he's claiming that that gyroscope, that they paid for that. The community didn't help out with that at all, which I remember back then the community was fully funding all of the FE Core stuff and all of the Globebuster stuff. So it's kind of a slap in the face to the community that everyone's been supporting them and they're not even getting credit for them supporting, and they're getting, like, I don't know, just the whole thing reminds me of what they also used to do in the communities where they would take people's ideas. We'd all be talking about a certain research that we'd be doing, and then the next week Glowbusters would cover like the person's research and not give them credit for the work that they had done. Just a simple shout out. It's not hard to do. I don't understand why they did that, but that was another thing that I remember people complaining about back then about them, not just about grifting, but about actually mining the community for content and then never giving credit where it's due. But yeah, it's very telling. Bob is, the fact that he called Bob gay for Flat Earth at the end, I thought was a pretty funny clip. And, you know, like apparently there's no money in Flat Earth according to Witsit, but then he accuses, all these other people of only being in this for money. So which is it? Isn't there money in this? Is the community helping you or are they not helping you? Like it's a lot more contradictions, but anyways, enjoy. Toodles.
The people around you and you're just going to go along to get along. That's what all these fake fucking truthers do left and right. And that's why I can't stand fucking most of you guys, not you guys in particular, but most in general, these groups
Maybe
of people.
You're the fake truther.
Okay, maybe. Whatever.
You're
I'm not the one
schizo.
raising money.
Dude,
I'm not the one
you're
trying to
fucking
raise money.
triggered, bro.
I'm not the one raising
do
money,
something, bro.
I'm not the one
No,
raising
you
money.
guys are
bro, what's up?
weirdos. You're weirdos. This is the fact. I'm going to explain it. This is what happened. I'm sitting here. This girl randomly brings up Glowbusters, claims that it's a big Ponzi laundering scheme that's stealing money from everyone for years. And
She
then
gave
starts talking
her
about
fucking opinion, bro.
Let her
Well, good
let him
thing.
finish,
opinion.
bro. Let him finish. Come on, let him explain it. You
And
guys.
so I sat there listening to it because I'm like, I haven't been on Glowbusters the whole time. I'm listening to the story. Then I hear her talking about the balloons. I'm like, well, you're clearly leaving out crucial details that I do know about. They absolutely did send the balloon up and it got lost. Oh, yeah, they raised money a second time. But then they didn't send a balloon. I'm like, okay, like what was the amount that they raised? What did they need? Are you sure no
Dude,
one
it was
got their money
7
back?
years ago.
You don't
I
know
don't
shit about any of
remember.
it. But you're
I
still
don't
talking
remember
about
the
it.
details from
You're still
7
talking
years
about it, though.
ago. But you
you're
know
still
what?
talking about it, though.
Wait, am I allowed to interject at all? Like, cause you're not even saying it correctly. Like, you're not even like, like
Yes, I am.
even Josh. No, you know what, Josh? Like, let's talk to the people that were actually there. Let's talk to New P. Let's talk to Uber Josh, who was there and also witnessed the same shit I did, and he's still a fan of them. And he's still a fan of them. And I'm not saying that I'm not a fan of their old work and that I didn't share the fuck out of a lot of their old videos. I'm not
appealing to
discounting
emotion
the work
with red
that they
herring
did.
fallacies.
But you're not. You see, you're just gonna talk over me the whole fucking
I
time
was in
and
the
be a
middle of
rude
talking.
asshole. Yeah, I know. You've not stopped talking this whole time, and you keep
That's
saying
projection.
the same thing over and over and over again, and it's not even true what you're saying and how I fucking
The whole
made
room
it
heard
sound.
it. The whole room heard
okay,
it.
bro.
Listen,
Whatever.
Okay, so I'm going to finish what happens. Someone asked why we walked in. I'm going to tell you because there's a reason I'm pissed. I don't just randomly start raising my voice. You can try to pretend I'm crazy if you want to, or I'm virtue signaling, whatever gay thing you want to say. That's not true. So what happened was I corrected. The story was like they raised money for a balloon and then just stole the money. And then you started going on to the next
balloon. They
No,
didn't do the
you
second
didn't
balloon.
say anything
They
about
raised
one or
money
two
for the
balloons
second
until I
balloon, and they
intervened.
didn't.
Said the second balloon never went up. There was
Buddy,
never
you didn't say. You have to interrupt.
You put your camera on, man.
I know.
You don't have to. You listen. This is the facts. You didn't say anything about one or two balloons until I interjected and pointed out. Wait a minute, that's not fair because they did send a balloon up, right? And it crashed. Then you're like, oh yeah, but the second one.
No,
so the way
I
you the
said
way,
no. I
that's
didn't.
a fact. That's a fact.
That's not what happened. I said the first
No,
one
it's a
they lost
fact.
the first one. The second
After I stepped in and corrected you, bro.
Dude, what the fuck ever.
So this is the reason that's important because the way you're telling the story is you're leaving out all kinds of context and detail to just slander them. Okay?
Context and
So
detail that you hear about after the fact. You weren't in the live streams with them fucking crowdfunding the money. You weren't around. You're a fucking.
You can't even remember
I thought
shit
you were
about
a
it
when I first talked to you because you sounded like such a retard.
Okay, now you're just evolving into your low IQ schizo bullshit diversions. I don't care. This is the facts. You started talking about my friend that died, okay? And the reality is I knew him personally. I went to his house many times, okay? He didn't take money from anyone. He was known for helping people out behind the scenes with his retirement and never telling anyone about it. That dude did the opposite of steal money. That's why it's so much bullshit that you have the audacity to come in here and lie about him. Then I call you out. You make up some story about the gyroscope. I don't need any of your fucking opinions. I know him in real life. Then you went as far as to claim he didn't actually die. And I'm like, dude, I saw him dead. I was one of the only people, me, Cammy, Zach, his son, just because I lived near them. Cammy called me bawling. And I had to go drive up to the hospital and I literally saw him dead. Okay? I saw him dead. And you went as far
Even
as
the
to
way
say,
that you
take a
described
picture.
it, if you actually talk about somebody who died and then you're like, his tongue was hanging out and everything, like it doesn't sound like you really were upset about it. It doesn't
How
sound
is
like
she
you
not
really had to
schizophrenic?
make-
How is she not a schizo?
Dude, you said that.
Hold on, pause.
Witsit,
Real quick.
disengage.
If it was my friend that died and then you were telling me that I didn't see his dead body, I'd be fucking pissed. Like, you gotta be a little bit more sensitive to
The
that.
first thing I
Correct.
said was,
Fucked up.
I think that
I
that's out
don't
of
know
line.
that he died.
That's
I don't
really
know
out
that.
of.
That's
That's
what I
fucked
said.
up, dude. If it was my friend,
Dude,
if I was telling you about my
I don't
friend that I
care.
knew,
It's the same, dude. It's the same thing with all of the psyops on the news, right? Like
You're
nobody
schizophrenic by definition, bro.
Dude, how is that schizophrenic? How is it
Guys,
schizophrenic
we
to
don't
say
need to
that I
throw
don't
name
believe
calling around.
that somebody died or not? Like, what does
I
it
understand
matter?
people are
No, you
upset.
have
I
no
understand toes were
evidence for
stepped on.
anything. You have no
But
evidence
dude,
for anything. You just say everything is fake until your arbitrary, line of evidence is reached or whatever. You went too far because I listened to you say that bullshit. Everything is fake all the time. Whatever, right? Even talking about the science
All the
earlier
time.
today of nanoparticles, you're like, oh, actually, they were just fake it. They were just fake it. Everything's fake. Everything's
I
fake.
didn't
You're a
say
schizo.
I
You
sent
are a
you
schizo.
an article and I said, hey, you should read this article. They're talking about how all DNA strands are fucking computer images, just like the globe. Like, I thought that like this is the safe place to talk
Not
with
what we're
people
talking-
about
not
shit
what we're
that's
talking-
fake. I didn't think that you were gonna get triggered
No,
and fucking act like a
no.
little bitch, dude. Like,
No,
I'm
someone
sorry.
asked me-
I
Dude,
really
you
am
call-
sorry. Look, I
you
didn't
called
mean
out
to
someone
offend
personal,
you.
dude.
Let me fucking
It's just
finish.
a fact that
Look,
you
Hold
crossed
on.
the line,
I'm
bro.
sorry
Trying to
that I don't
apologize.
believe that he died. I'm not going to go back on what I said because I don't know. The guy, I met him one time at a Flat Earth meetup in 2017 when I was a fan of his. Then he fucking turned on me just because I was trying to give
So you're a
the new
narcissist.
people coming in. No, someone a narcissist? How does that make me a narcissist?
So you had some personal beef with someone while they were alive. That
No.
means they fixed their death. You have no logic whatsoever, bro.
Dude, you're not listening. I also thought that Mad Mike faked his death.
Oh my god.
You're not
That's
even
what she just said.
listening.
Her justification for
let
claiming
me-
he didn't die was that she had beef
Am I
with him.
allowed to fucking
didn't
talk, or are
say
you
that's
just gonna
why he
talk
didn't
over me
die.
the whole time?
Jason, are you retarded too?
Dude,
Come on, guys.
Like, I think you guys are retarded,
Everybody
bro.
settle down, bro. Everybody just settle down.
Pretty
Let's go
wild.
back to the nice conversations we were having about shit.
Yeah, we were having great conversations. I did not think this was
You
gonna turn
are
into
the
this.
one that did
okay,
it.
I'm apologizing. Can we move on? I'm fucking sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Let's accept
Can we move
it.
the fuck on?
Let's accept it. Let's move on.
Thank you.
She's exposed
Toodles.
her true opinions, and we shouldn't shun her for that. We just need to realize who we're dealing with. That's all, dude.
Okay,
It's
cool.
not a
Let
big
me
deal.
ask one quick question. If you guys had someone that you were like really good friends with, or say you looked at him like a second father figure, right? Because your family didn't accept you for talking about this stuff. He encouraged you to go talk about it publicly, always had your back, helped you out behind the scenes all the time. You watched him be one of the most selfless people that you've ever met. helping people out behind the scenes all the time, but no one ever knows about it in the shadows. You go over to his house all the time, right? He's like a second father to you, hang out with him all the time, okay? And then his wife calls you frantically, freaking out because he unexpectedly died. Then you go and see him while Cammy's crying, trying to console her, and see him just be dead there. Just be dead there, right? And because he refused to want to go to a hospital and stuff whenever he was sick or whatever, right? And it was super sad. And then you have someone just like shitting all, not even just about him dying, but like talking about how he was a thief when you know the truth is, dude, that dude was the opposite of a thief.
Yeah, but witsit. People do this shit
no
to my
human
Messiah
being
all
in the
day
world
long,
that has
bro.
any honor, would
Christ
ever
all
not
day,
stand
bro.
for him. My point is that it doesn't mean I'm virtue signaling because I'm standing up to defend him. Okay, there's nothing to do with
She's
virtue
left the
signaling.
room. She's
Dude,
left the room.
I'd be just as pissed though. Like if someone said I was virtue signaling
No,
for
look,
like
she's
defending the honor of my dead friend, I'd be fucking pissed, dude.
Yeah, but
So I
people do this
don't blame
about
you being
Jesus
she
mad.
was
Christ, man.
completely out of line.
Yeah,
It's
she was
just
She was
out of line,
completely out
but
of
you
line.
guys
Yeah.
you guys have to learn how to deal with this a little better, dude. Like I understand it's touching on sensitive spots, but dude, Jesus Christ, bro, remember his life, dude. I mean, he gets shit on still to this day. All right, so it's out there,
Yeah,
guys. It's
I
out there.
wanted to make the
but this
point.
is a
I wanted to make the point that if it was IPS here in this room now, you wouldn't be arguing with Timmy from IPS as adamantly as you were with that chick. She's completely out of line. She should not have pushed it as far as she did. She's allowed to question. She's allowed to question data, but to take it to such a personal level, I completely understand why you got so triggered or so upset by it. Completely rightly so. But yeah, if she was an IPS follower and she was a penguin, dude, she's a shit causer.
So we
Then
can't question
she's not
people
really there for
because
truth.
they're dead. We can't question
Her whole her version of every story was incorrect, bro. So like,
Okay, but
just to
then
add the context here, I was super
listen,
calm when I first jumped in. Like we want to pretend that didn't happen. I just calmly made the comment. Well, that's not completely true, right? They did send a balloon up because she said they raised money for a balloon and then didn't go up anymore. I'm like, well, they did send a balloon up. They never even sent a balloon up. They did send a balloon up. It got lost. Then she corrected herself and said, well, yeah, they sent the first one up and it got lost or whatever. That's how it started. Then she moved right on. I'm like, okay, I don't know about that. Do you have like the numbers for what they raised for the second one or anything like that? Because I'll look into it.
She said
Because I don't want to.
7 years ago. Yeah.
She said I don't remember because I'm like I'm on that panel, right? So I don't want to be a part of anyone stealing money. I'm going to get to the bottom of it, right? And so then it goes into the gyroscope thing. I actually do know about that. I actually know the details about that, which is that the community didn't raise shit. We didn't get anywhere close to paying for the gyroscopes, and those gyroscopes are very expensive. Okay, and so they were just going to have to give the money back and give up. And then some other legend stepped up and said, look, I'll pay for it out of pocket, right? I'll pay for what's needed out of pocket, but I just want to be able to keep it.
Who was
That's
that
what
guy,
actually happened.
by the way? Just curious.
I don't remember his name.
Okay,
And
I don't
she
know
says it like this.
What I'm saying,
They took all that money and then they rented a gyroscope from someone and used it. So
And they kept the
way she
remainder.
did it was bullshit, and obviously it was propaganda based. She can't remember something from 7 years ago. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, she was saying that basically she raised the full amount from everyone as if they're going to buy it. Then they deceptively just went and rented one and pocketed the rest of the money. Like that's not what happened.
She lost all credibility when she said Bob Nodell probably didn't die. All right, like I don't understand why you guys even entertained her fucking narrative after that.
Exactly.
After this fact, she said that, bro. Like she lost all credibility on the spot, bro.
exactly.
Yeah, I guess.
There's no
Well, yeah, I got
continue.
emotional about it, bro, because like, dude, that dude like had my back so hard. Dude, that dude was such a real one, bro. Like, he always had my back. And like, I'll just tell you some of the stuff, right? Because it just honors. Like, for example, Jaron ran into a tough situation, right? Way back in the day, and dude, like tough situation. I'm not gonna air his laundry, but like they were screwed. And dude, Bob, without hesitation, dude, like emptied out his little account he had and helped him out without hesitation. And then Jaron gave it back to him like very, very quickly or whatever, right? He's always offered to help me. He sent me money when I needed it and I could get him back. He's done, dude, you can, who's the other person? There are so many people in this community that you have no idea. Bob has reached out to without being asked and helped them out. Right. So that's who he
helped with your
actually
streaming
was.
PC. Help put your
Yeah, exactly.
PC together. His son helped with like a million different things with the wind map and all kinds of other shit, man. Like their whole family was involved with like helping us, you know.
Dude, they're like some of the most selfless people I've ever met. I've been in their house many times. And like with the PC thing, yeah, we raised money for my PC, but we didn't actually raise enough. Bob covered the rest of it and then built the whole thing with his son. Right? Like I'm just
nice.
saying, like, that's just the kind of person that he was, bro. So like saying that he's stealing or saying that he didn't die, those are like say whatever else you want to. Say you disagree with anything he said or whatever. Don't like how he talks. I don't care. But like, don't call him a thief and don't whatever. It's all good. I'm sorry I got upset, but like once I said, dude, I literally saw him. I thought that would
Understandable,
be the
dude.
end of it.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
it was
it's very
it got pretty
extremely
wild there.
understandable.
Yeah, you're good,
Yeah,
dude.
I get it, bro.
Yeah, this is why I'm kind of glad I don't know any about this fucking drama shit or anything. I'm just going by the information, like what's logical, what's feasible, like all this other stuff that happened behind the scenes. People are human, you know what I mean? Like people are gonna make mistakes. People have other ulterior motives, but like I don't know any of that shit, any of that drama. All I know is that you guys been talking about Bob's data with the gyroscopes for a long time, and like I've seen the data with Toby. I mean, I've seen it. Like it's
Well, that's
there.
another thing that they say. Like I heard earlier today, like they didn't have the data. I don't blame the people for hearing it because these rumors get spread around, but the data does exist. The critique of it would
I've
be
seen
like,
it.
okay, there's like how many data points are there? I think there's like 7 sheets, and it's like, well, didn't they make like 10 measurements? And well, like okay, like what all variables did they account for, and blah blah blah, right? And that's cool, whatever. Like, look at it. The Glovers have come up with some desperate attempt to explain why it just so happens to change with altitude, right, inside of a vacuum seal chamber, and they try to claim it's pressure. So it's like, okay, cool story, but like I don't know, man. It's whatever. It's just like
So Witsit, I was here earlier when I was chatting with that other guy about that data, and what I was asking him was, we know that Bob had gotten access to the gyro and that they had measured the 15 degrees. That was at the Behind the Curve documentary.
Mhm.
But it was specifically in relation to when Bob said that he took the gyro up in a plane and that he noticed at different altitudes that he registered 14 degrees per hour.
yeah, it wasn't
And
on a
then in
plane.
another,
It was just on a mountain. Like they just went to different elevations. It wasn't like wasn't on a plane. So they stay the same latitude and went to different elevations.
okay, so that was what the guy and I were talking about earlier was, has that data in terms of the different elevations, is that
Yes.
data available?
Yeah, for years. I know Toby has it all. I'm on my phone, but yeah, it does, man. And then what happened was the Globers ran through it and they tried to come up with a way to dismiss it, and they claimed that if you look at the manual, that there's like an error margin based on like I don't remember temperature or pressure. I think pressure they say or whatever. They just dismissed the data. The data says exactly what he said it says, but it's not just Bob. It's like corroborated with other interferometry or whatever, right? So, but I will say pressure is a pretty weak excuse. It's in a vacuum sealed chamber, so I mean I don't see how that's going to cut it, but it's whatever, you know. But it was a whole. That was a whole thing. That was a whole thing. People thought that he made it all up and he didn't actually have the data and all stuff. And then it just sucks because I get to hear the whole story of these things. And so many times, what Bob would do is he would take the bullets and let people make all this stuff up about him. But for some other reason, like with that, they really wanted to make sure that they didn't want to release it on behalf of Flat Earth with missing something, right? They wanted to make sure that they had the variables enough. They wanted to do it more and consider more of the variables. They didn't want to release the data where he didn't think it was thorough enough or complete enough to embarrass Flat Earth. So that's the actual truth. The data existed the whole time. So like actually it took him a minute to even get the data from the guy, but once he got it, right, they all talked, we talked, right? And that was the position, was like he wasn't sure he wanted to rush it out because he wanted to make it more thorough and consider all the other variables and get more data sets, right? And so what is he? So he sits back and then allows all these people to say that he's lying. He made the whole story up. He didn't take it to different elevations and get different measurements and all this weirdo stuff. But he's doing it like in honor, right? He's like, well, I don't want to make Flat Earth look bad. That's how he was. So that's why it's like crazy. Like, dude, he would have put money out of his own pocket into the gyro and into the balloon Like, that's who he actually was. That dude didn't make $1 on Flat Earth. I know that for a fact. He didn't make any money. The money that came from Glowbusters, he didn't even pocket the money. Right? So he gave money to his son. He gave some money to other people on Glowbusters, and then he would just put it into Glowbusters or into tests or something. In fact, we didn't get like any money for the longest time. We didn't even get like $1 because it was just like demonetized. So anyway,
That's wild.
yeah,
Let's
it's
go
crazy
talk
because
about.
it's like
Let's
it
go back to
hurts
talking
truth.
about gold.
Well, let me say one more thing. This is kind of what I was trying to allude to earlier. It's like truthers shoot themselves in the foot. Like, there is no winning, because if someone like sacrifices everything, if they sacrifice their employment, they go out there publicly and talk about it and can't be employed, they go broke, or they spend their own money, or like they find ways to like actually get some notoriety or anything. If they were to ever get lots of views or something, then all these other super trooper truthers that don't even show their real identity, that don't do anything publicly, they're gonna all just bash them and call them names and call them shills and stuff. And that stuff got to Bob, bro. Like, FED got to Bob and stuff. That's why it pisses me off. It's like, dude, you guys, in my opinion, people like that had something to do with why he passed. Okay, because he let it get to him way too much. Yeah, he let it get to him way too much. He took it upon himself to be like the dad of FE, right? And so like he took it way too personal when like the FED was getting everyone to turn on him and stuff. You know, he felt like betrayed by the community, and I was trying to say, like, bro, you just can't let it get to you. But he did. He was just the kind of guy that did let it get to him. And so it's like, that's not necessarily their fault in the sense that I think that you should, not let it get to you. But yeah, I'm just saying, he cared that much about it. It's almost gay in a way to say it. Like, he cared that much about flat Earth, bro. And it's not gay though, because it's like, you guys know why this truth is important, right? So